Hey, it's Vic Dorfman, and in this video I'm going to talk about why Infusionsoft, right? I've had a few people ask me this, and let me just disclaim that I'm brand spanking new to Infusionsoft, okay? I just signed up, but I have been using it and working with it for years with various clients, so I'm well acquainted with it. I know what I'm getting myself into, and finally I've taken the plunge and spent the money. Now, why Infusionsoft? A few reasons that I've got written down on my handy dandy notebook here. First of all, ballers hang out with other ballers, okay? And if you are paying that monthly fee, and if you sprung for that setup fee, which is 4 figures, depending on who you ask, then you have some money. You're probably some kind of semi-real business-ish-esque entity. Maybe you're incorporated, maybe you're a sole proprietor, you're probably paying taxes at a much higher level than you're comfortable with. And the certifications are expensive, the events are expensive, the training is expensive. The contractors who then come to work on your Infusionsoft app are themselves expensive. $200 an hour, that kind of thing. By the way, I don't charge quite that much. I charge a lot, but I don't charge quite that much, so let me know if you need some help with that. Now, the other issue, functionality and extensibility. Obviously, Infusionsoft is super functional, and that is really the cause of many people's distrust of it, or their reluctance to use it versus, quote, simpler solutions. Now, here's the thing. I've been setting up membership sites and funnels and that kind of thing for going on 4 years now, full-time. And what I found is that there's sort of a paradox with technology that a lot of people have brought to my attention, which is they want something super, super functional, yet super, super simple. And while there are varying degrees of meeting that happy medium, in truth, it doesn't really exist. If you want something that has deep functionality, deep integration with other apps, can do a lot of cool stuff, and is super simple to use, you are living in an illusion, because there are very, very few apps and pieces of tech that can really strike that balance, for the simple reason that complexity requires complexity. It's something can do a lot of things, there's more to learn, there's more to set up. And that's very much the case with Infusionsoft. So really the question is, well, what direction is your business heading in? Do you plan on integrating like offline stuff with your business, including online? Do you want to merge the two? Do you need to have a CRM to manage contacts? Do you want to have your sales team in there? And there's sort of another point, which is that you want, a lot of what I do is setting up systems and automations for businesses, streamlining businesses. And the thing that you want to shoot for, whenever possible, it's not always possible, is what I call one-itis, okay? You want to have all of your team members in as few places as possible in terms of applications online, one preferably, okay? So if Infusionsoft had Slack built right in, and Asana built right in, and Google Drive built right in, that would be the one place where all of the team could live. But as it stands now, you sort of have to use a Frankenstein's monster of different apps. And that's another thing that people often bring up, is like, why do I have to have all these apps and using all these? Because that's what it is. That's just what it is. If you want to have all of that different, I'm just enjoying the beauty here, it's quite nice, eh? If you want to have all those things, then there's some compromise you have to make in terms of dealing with the complexity and with the overhead and the switching between apps and stuff like that. The more you can reduce that, the better. But is it really possible to reduce it? Is it really possible to have something super functional and super simple at the same time? I think not really. And people say, well, what about ActiveCampaign? What about Drip? What about all these other, Ontraport, all these other competitors? They aren't as simple as they appear. If you've tried to set up like all these automations and stuff in ActiveCampaign, it's really not that much simpler. I would say it's about the same level of complexity as Infusionsoft. Maybe a little bit simpler, but it can't do everything that Infusionsoft can do. Almost. It's a close second. And then, once you're at a certain amount of contacts, it becomes really expensive. And then you start thinking, well, why didn't I just start off with Infusionsoft from the get-go. It's a little bit of an older company with a bit of a more extensive set of integrations built upon it. Third-party apps like Parsi and Plus This and that kind of thing. Which brings us to the next point. Infusionsoft rock as a company. They just really rock as a company. They have an amazing team. Every single interaction I've ever had with Infusionsoft has been positive. I've met a few of the Infusionsoft peeps. At a Frank Kern seminar, I met two of these guys. One was a former Infusionsoft peep, one is a current Infusionsoft peep. And they were just super cool guys. They really knew their stuff. They knew their marketing. And check my notes here. The other aspect of it is that the community aspect of Infusionsoft is, and by the way, I may switch. I don't know. I may find that after a while Infusionsoft is too complex or too clunky or whatever other reasons people cite for not using it after they've used it. But I'm not going to not use what all the big boys and girls are using. I'm not going to be deterred by hearsay from other people. My opinion is that you have to jump in and try things yourself and then draw your own conclusions. And also it depends on your personality and what kind of business you're in. I just read an article from Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income where he tried Infusionsoft, he didn't like it, and he switched to ConvertKit, I believe. So, also, Infusionsoft just got, I don't know if it's just or if it was how recently this was, they got a huge cash injection. They got a ton of funding, which says to me that they're going to keep rolling out new features and they're going to be around for a while. They're not going anywhere. And you don't want your whole business engine to just disappear overnight. So that's not really a concern. Here's another thing. There's meetups all over the world for Infusionsoft users. There's trainings, there's events, there's Icon, there's all these communities, contractors. And all of these people sort of come pre-qualified as being at that next level. Not necessarily, but probably the guy who's shelling out $300, $500 plus a month for Infusionsoft plus the setup fee. He's probably not a blogger in Chiang Mai living on $500 a month. Okay, it's probably somebody that at least gives the illusion, like me, of legitimacy, and has at least enough money to fund Infusionsoft, if nothing else. This cat is probably starving, but he's got Infusionsoft. So, just to recap, ballers, hang out with other ballers, functionality and extensibility, Infusionsoft's got that. Amazing support, great company, they've got that. One-itis, in terms of channeling all of your business processes into one, as few places as possible, CRM, shopping cart, merchant account, sales team, task manager, etc. Infusionsoft's got you covered there. Funding and lifetime, they're going to be around for a while, they're funded, well-funded. Functionality versus complexity, to a certain degree, there's just no way around that. And meetups and community, they've got that as well. So, I'm not sold yet. These are just my reasons that I'm giving you that I have signed up. I'm not for or against it either way. These are sort of my justifications, but we'll see if they really pan out. I know that there's a lot of former Infusionsoft users who are now on ActiveCampaign or Drip or whatever the case may be. Again, I think it depends on your business model and your experiences and your personality, and all of those things factor in. So there is no right answer. There's no definitive answer that Infusionsoft is the best or Drip is the best or whatever the case may be. So, greetings from Phuket, Thailand. Hope y'all are doing well. If you have any questions, just message me. Email me or hit me up on Twitter @Vic Dorfman. Ciao.